Apple has released its newest entry-level device, the iPhone 17e, with an aggressive starting price of $599. This release changes the pattern for budget technology. Typically, a lower price requires a significantly slower, older processor to make the numbers work. The 17e creates a paradox. It is $100 cheaper than the older iPhone 16, yet it contains a more powerful chip and double the internal storage capacity. This comparison matrix shows the gap. We are looking at the A19 versus the A18 chip, and a jump from 128 to 256 gigabytes. These specifications shift the value proposition. When analyzing the price-to-performance ratio, the cheaper model is actually the more capable computer. To get that longevity, however, you have to accept a trade-off. You are attaining flagship-tier internal speed, but you are sacrificing modern aesthetics and the latest sensory hardware in return. Apple is using internal components to control the budget market. This forces buyers to choose between high-end computing power and a modern physical design. The 17e uses the A19 chip and 8 gigabytes of RAM. RAM is the short-term memory that allows the phone to handle multiple complex apps simultaneously. This hardware produces benchmark scores identical to the $799 iPhone 17. In terms of sheer speed, there is no distinction between the budget model and the flagship. Because it has these internals, the 17e is fully compatible with future Apple Intelligence software, the company's suite of generative AI features. Measured, placing high-density processing into a budget device creates a machine with capability that exceeds its physical class. The exterior, however, tells a different story. Apple reuses a chassis from the iPhone 14 era to keep production costs low. You can see the legacy design in the screen. It retains the older top notch for Face ID and features thicker bezels around the edges. The screen technology is also dated. It sticks to a 60 Hz refresh rate, meaning the display updates 60 times per second, and it reaches a peak outdoor brightness of just 1200 nits. The 17e is essentially a high-end computing engine inside a dated shell. You are opting for long-term operational survival over immediate visual prestige. The most obvious physical limitation is the camera system, which features only a single lens on the rear panel. This is a 48-megapixel fusion camera on the back. It uses sensor cropping, taking a high-resolution center cut, to provide optical quality zoom at 1x and 2x. What you lose is the ultra-wide lens. You cannot capture expansive group shots or wide architectural views without physically backing away from the subject. The single lens design also eliminates macro photography for extreme close-ups and prevents you from recording spatial video for virtual reality headsets. This scorecard compares the 17e to competitors. Both handles standard zoom, but the 17e has blank spaces where ultra-wide and macro features should be. For creators, lacking an ultra-wide lens significantly limits the shots you can get in tight spaces. Ultimately, this camera system forces a sacrifice of creative variety. It is built for fundamental framing and everyday utility, rather than artistic flexibility. Looking at the internals, Apple has finally added Qi 2 and MagSafe charging to its budget tier. Qi 2 is a universal standard for magnetic wireless power. This hardware enables the use of a massive ecosystem of magnetic accessories and faster 15-watt wireless chargers that snap directly into alignment. Teardowns have shown that the back panel on the 17e is actually compatible with the older 16e chassis, highlighting the shared architecture. This schematic shows how the 17e back panel aligns and locks onto the older framework. It is a very efficient use of existing parts to lower costs. The phone receives the C1X modem, handling the connection between the device and the cellular network. The efficiency of this C1X modem is the main reason the 17e achieves 22 hours of video playback and battery testing. However, you do lose out on mmWave 5G, the version of cellular data capable of gigabit speeds, and Wi-Fi 7, the newest home internet standard. This internal architecture uses supply chain recycling to prioritize practical daily endurance over bleeding-edge wireless speeds. The most disruptive detail in this entire package is the 256 gigabytes of base storage. For $599, that is a significant amount of local space. High local capacity removes the constant pressure to pay for monthly cloud storage upgrades and prevents you from having to delete apps or photos to make room. Compare that to the $699 iPhone 16. Apple is charging an extra $100 for exactly half the storage capacity. Without enough local space, high-resolution media will quickly outgrow its container. Having 256 gigabytes standard prevents that overflow for the vast majority of users. This storage increase is the deciding factor against the standard iPhone 16. From a financial perspective, the 17e is the better investment for almost every buyer. Given these trade-offs, we have to look at who this phone is actually designed for. This flowchart illustrates your choice based on daily priorities. For maximum storage and battery life at the lowest price, follow the path to the iPhone 17e. For camera flexibility and a modern display, the path leads to the flagship models. For anyone currently using an iPhone 11 or 12, this model is a straightforward, future-proof upgrade that won't require a monthly payment for cloud storage. Buying the iPhone 17e means choosing utility over vanity. It is a computer built for ruthless efficiency rather than visual trends.